Hello friends of the Multilieta, and welcome to another video where today I want to show you something I've been wanting to show you for a long time, and it's a germinator, a homemade germinator. A germinator is nothing more than simply providing all the ideal conditions for a seed to germinate. This one, Mokamias Tesinas, and Yahak and Notchevan, which we are going to make at home, makes the seeds even germinate faster than placing them next to a window or directly under sunlight.
We are going to use materials that I will show you now and that you will find in the description in case you want to get them. First, we are going to use one of these reused polystyrene boxes. I got it at a fish market, but they also have them at greengrocers and places like that. You ask for them and they give them to you because they throw them away. Honestly, I really love these boxes. And then we're going to use the typical LED lights, okay? I'm going to reuse these that I already had. But we can also use these strip ones, which are cheaper, okay? But anyway, and basically this would be enough. And then we need a fan. The basic function is simply to prevent too much moisture from condensing inside our germinator, and in this way to prevent our plants from getting damaged or fungi from appearing. There are many heights and sizes of these polystyrene boxes. I like them to be deep to use them for this. I use others as pots, or we can even use them as a worm composter, as I showed you in another video, but they should have some depth so that even the seeds, once they have germinated, have space to grow. Because the good thing about this germinator is that we are not only going to germinate the seed, but for example, for apartments or houses where not gives direct sunlight, then we can use it as a mini greenhouse on our bed, so we won't have to struggle because we don't get enough light. The plants grow leggy. It is a place where the plants can develop until we transplant them to our urban garden or our vegetable garden. So we are going to provide, as I said, all those conditions, and it's not just a germinator, but we will also use it as a seed bed. These fans, which are very cheap, are fantastic for us. What we are going to do is mark on the top part of the polystyrene box, okay, where the fan would go. And now with a knife we cut it as straight as possible, although in truth that is different, but at least make it look nice, right? Also. So this is the Germinator 5000. You'll see how amazing it is. Later we'll do a germination test so you can see how great it is. And even though I can germinate the seeds in the greenhouse, it works wonderfully for me. For other projects where we don't have enough direct sunlight, it works wonderfully for us. So now, with a knife, just be very careful. We're going to cut the perimeter. So, if we've done it right, this fits perfectly. We give it a little perfect. The first part done. Look how cool it turned out, right? Well, we can put silicone dots here, okay, but for now I'm going to leave it like this. I've put a little tape on the cable just to avoid tripping. And this part is done. Let's move on to the other part. The second part, and more importantly, is that we are going to work on the stage with the LED grow lights. As I mentioned, we have two options. We have these, which are much cheaper than these, and these, in truth, are not expensive. But they have the advantage that we can configure and program them to turn on for 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, or 8 hours a day. And then with this little button, we can adjust the intensity, which is great, or at least for me, it's an advantage. Here we should buy a separate timer, okay? I use this more for the growth furniture. The cool thing about these light bars is that they come in pairs. So we're going to set up 2 on one side, okay? And the other 2 we place here, so you get an idea of how they go. The good thing about this is that they have some strips here, okay, that stick directly onto the lid, which is what we're going to put on now. Little by little and carefully, as careful as we can be to make it look really cool, we remove this and stick it. We also have the option of using 2 screws, but well, I almost prefer not to drill the lid and leave it like this. Overall, it sticks quite well, and the day we want, we can remove or change them. Also, the good thing about these LED lights is that their prices have dropped a lot, and now they are very, very affordable. Kyoto, very interesting for any project where we cannot have plants with direct sunlight. Many times it's even used indoors. We just need to try it. So I'll show you properly. Simply with this, we turn on the lights. Wow. We adjust the intensity. These are the different intensities it has. Well, I know it doesn't show much in the video, but oh well. And then so the hours. We have it marked here. We have the hours marked here, but well, it's not visible. We won't be able to check it now. But just know that we can program the hours, program the intensity, and turn it on or off. Okay? Look how cool. Well, I think it works quite well. So let's continue with the project. Let's put a bit of tape to guide the cables simply. As I said, you can use silicone, but be careful that it doesn't burn the polystyrene. So, however, I think tape is more than enough. And now here, what we need to do is simply use the knife to remove this groove, which is where the cable will go through. It shouldn't generate too many little balls, because then to clean this, but as you can see, it's a very easy, very simple project. We already have it. Here we'll also need to lower it a bit so the cable can pass through and everything is well covered. As I said, we are going to provide the plants with all the necessary conditions to grow. Good temperatures, humidity, which we will provide by watering, of course. For now, we don't have that automated, although it could be for future projects. We can make the Germinator 10,000, but for now, with the 5,000, it will be automatic, like this.
Let's put all our wiring on the same side. Let's check if it covers well.
Perfect. The bodies as perfectly, and that's it. Nasu can simply handle the cables like this, lower them, and that's it. We just need to test it. Let's test it. We need to see how it works. Also, look, right? The capacity is quite interesting. 4 columns by 7 rows, which is not bad at all. And you know that I use yogurt containers as seed beds, but we can use smaller things and fit a bunch of plants. All right, let's start planting. In this case, autumn is approaching. We are going to plant pak choi seeds. Now, simply with our homemade watering can, we apply a good initial watering to start the whole germination process. We have to be careful with this box, even though we have put the fan, because a lot of moisture can condense and it can cause us problems with fungi. So light but continuous watering, we observe it little by little. You see that this homemade watering can works great. Now we cover it and let the magic begin. Important, in case you didn't know, for the first few days we don't need to turn on the light, we just lift the lid and observe. Willis will turn on the light once they start to germinate. While they haven't germinated, we don't need to make that light expense because the plants won't benefit from it. We cover. Now we have a good environment of good temperature, good humidity, and then when they germinate, they will have the light they need. We are giving them everything with the Germinator 5000. 3 days have passed, and let me show you that almost all of them are already germinating. Good thing I decided to check today. I was going to water them, and they've already germinated. We need to turn on the lights now. Look how amazing. Some haven't yet, but it's only been 3 days. It's a new record, huh? By the way, I haven't told you. We already have the fan running. I usually run it for about 2 hours a day, more or less. 1 hour in the morning, another in the afternoon, to keep things moving and ventilated. And then it's perfect. We can turn on the lights and let our little plants enjoy. Tos huertonianos. 5th day. And then look at our plants. They just keep growing incredibly. I'm super happy with this system. They haven't sprouted true leaves yet, but in 5 days, look at how our plants are. It is true that later we will have to do some thinning because many seeds have fallen, but it works incredibly. And as I said, we run the fan for 1 hour in the morning, another hour in the afternoon. If it smells very humid, we turn it on, and if not, then nothing. Huertonianos, 8 days have passed, and I want to show you how amazing our invention is.
Look how amazing. They are already sprouting the true leaves. It is true that they are a bit stretched next time. I have to raise them a little more, but it's incredible.
This is record time for germination. I'll also tell you that I haven't watered them more times than the first day I showed you. And look how well they are doing, huh? Amazing. I love this invention. Now we're going to keep leaving them here for a few more days, but they already have their true leaves and will keep growing little by little. I think this invention is amazing. I do tell you that maybe raising them a little more, putting a small platform would be a great idea. But despite being isolated a little, very little, the plants are incredibly developed in record time. I love how well this invention has worked. Well, we don't necessarily have to only use seeds. If I want this plant to develop a bit more, here I will have better temperatures and more intense light than by the window. Or if I want these cuttings to grow leaves, it can be used for a lot of things, not just for germinating seeds. For example, I have a little plant here. I want it to grow much more. So I will take advantage and use our Germinator 5000. You can't tell me it's not amazing, right? So, Huertonianos, you've seen how easy it is to make the Germinator 5000.
The truth is that with very few elements, we are going to make the most of its potential. We will get our plants to develop much sooner than in a normal state by the window or in the greenhouse. The conditions are super optimal. The only thing we have noticed is that they have been isolated a little by the height, but we raised the height and it's solved. And well, I hope you liked the video, especially that you put it into practice, and we'll see you next Thursday on the channel La Huertita de Toni. See you later.